between North and South Vietnam. North Vietnam wants the country to unify as a communist society, while South Vietnam is anti-communist. We cannot let Vietnam become communist because more countries will follow this ideal like dominoes. We need to assist South Vietnam by sending troops to fight.
President Johnson, I respectfully advise against sending aid to South Vietnam. This is not our war to fight, and the casualties would be catastrophic. Besides, wouldn't supporting South Vietnam only show our citizens that we support a dictatorship in the fight against communism?
I'm sorry, but the decision has been made. We must fight for the American people and protect them from the spread of communism. We must fight for the American ideals.
Very well. It is my duty to serve this country and uphold the law.
During the 1960s and 70s, America became heavily involved in the Vietnam War, causing American citizens to become increasingly more concerned with the length of the war and the staggering number of casualties. This sparked protests debating the war that often appeared in the form of music as well as musical concerts, such as Woodstock, that promoted nonviolent protests and an end to the war. Although the two main characters in this story, including myself, are fictional, they represent the real experiences of many real American citizens in the 60s and 70s and how they dealt with the political climate and debate within the country at the time. This story begins in 1967 with my best friend, James.
David, I have something to tell you. I've decided to join the war to help aid the fight against North Vietnam.
What, James? I've seen this war on television, and it's terrible and gruesome, and so many young people in college, like us, are fearing for their lives, afraid they could be forced to join this war. Why would you choose to take that risk willingly?
Exactly. So many people overseas are dying, and they need more help, and I think that's my duty as an American citizen to fight for my country.
I don't understand your decision, but I respect your willingness to fight for freedom, and I'll miss you.
We can write to each other and just say how things are going where we are.
Christmas, there'll be no wars when we have learned what Christmas is for.
That's a really powerful lyric. Usually songs during war are upbeat and used to bring people together, but this one seems against the war. I wonder if James knows anything about this. Dear James, I recently heard a song called Someday at Christmas by Stevie Wonder. Have you heard of it?
Dear David, yes, but my thoughts on the lyrics are conflicted. We are fighting for peace, so although I do believe that we need peace within the country, I also believe that the only way to achieve that is to fight for it.
With all due respect, I don't believe that that goal is worth all of the people that are dying.
These songs are causing so much debate within the country.
Yes, but I want to be a part of that debate. I'll be attending a protest soon. It's the only way I can really fight for what I believe in.
More than half of Americans are unsatisfied with the war. There's protest and protest music causing heated debate all over the country. This is a disaster. What are we supposed to do?
President Johnson, I've seen some of these protests, and I agree that they're very extreme and aggressive, in my opinion. Other government officials and I believe, despite our separate opinions about the war, that we need to uphold the law by interfering with these protests.
Oh, there's a lot of people here. It's so cool.
Hey dude, I'm Michael Lang, the organizer of this festival, the Miami Pop Festival. Thank you so much for joining the debate.
Yeah, I have a friend who's away at war right now, but I just want to make sure he gets home safe.
Totally. The guy performing right now, Jimi Hendrix, he was a soldier too, but now he's joining the fight for peace. I hope I can get him to perform at my next event. I hope to see you there too.
Totally, thank you.
It's 1969, and America has been in this war for 4 years, but there's still no end in sight. Maybe David had the right idea.
What, protesting? How's that helping anything? We are the ones out here fighting.
But James has a point, and everyone's being affected by this war, not just us. David and the other protesters are fighting so we're able to return home safely.
We chose to fight in this war. It is our duty to protect our country. Then maybe the war will end.
Chose? I was drafted into this war, along with many other people our age. Of course I want the war to end, but not at this cost.
I didn't realize that so many people had different opinions, but they all wanted the war to end. I don't know who to side with.
Hey David, Michael, welcome to Woodstock. There's about 500,000 people here. Isn't that crazy? Me and my friends put this together. The location had to be changed last minute, so we're having it at the Sterry Farm owned by Max Yasker.
Yeah, this huge crowd caused traffic jams, and I had to walk the rest of the way here.
Yes, totally. But everyone here was brought together to protest for peace and unity in a non-violent way, and that's why music is so amazing. I'll see you around, dude.
Yeah, totally.
Hi, I'm here to join the debate against the draft. The draft has a huge class and race bias, which is totally unfair.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm a veteran protesting the war because of all the awful things I had to endure while I was there. I don't care if we win or lose, this war has to end.
Yeah.
This is so much better than all the other protests I've been to. Every other peaceful protest I've attended got shut down by the cops. They see an angry mob of people, but I just see a group of kids that wants the war to end.
Yeah, totally.
This is so cool. There are so many artists protesting the war, like Bob Dylan, Pete Seeger, Jimi Hendrix, Richie Havens, Bobby Darin, and so many
Oh my
others.
gosh, it's so awesome.
Hi, I'm Max Yasker. This is my farm, and I would just like to say, you've proven something to the world. The important thing that you've proven to the world is that 500,000 kids, and I call you kids because I have children who are older than you are, 500,000 young people can come together to have 3 days of fun and music and nothing but fun and music, and God bless you for it.
Woo! Thank you, Max. So many people tried to stop this protest from happening, but here we are. Thank you all so much for coming out for this amazing 3 days. And with that, please enjoy our closing act from Jimi Hendrix and his rendition of the Star Spangled Banner. So, Mr. Haggard, tell me, what was your motivation to write one of the most popular songs of 1970, OK from Muskogee, that is now known as the anthem for conservatives? It is so interesting to see both sides of the debate.
Well, I created this song to protest these protesters. These free young kids are yelling and hollering about the freedom that they have. Well, there are soldiers out there risking their lives so they can keep that freedom. With this song, I want to support the troops and mock those hippies.
Thank you.
Dear James, last year I attended a protest called Woodstock, and it was amazing. Have you heard of it?
Dear David, it's good to hear from you, and yes, I have heard some mixed things about it. I also just recently heard another song called War by Edwin Starr. I want to know your thoughts.
I love that song, and it's really popular. My favorite line is, "War I despise because it means destruction of innocent lives. War means tears to thousands of mothers' eyes when their sons go out to fight and lose their lives." Because it talks about soldiers like you that are constantly in danger.
So is that the only reason you want the war to end?
Well, that and a number of other reasons, yeah. But the music I've heard has really impacted me, and a lot of other people too.
No more soldiers! No more war!
Yeah, since the war is still going on, people are taking their anger out on returning soldiers.
I'm just glad that I'm at home safe. I hope the same can happen for everyone else soon, too.
Well, that's the end of my story, but a lot happened after James came home. The protest against the war accomplished a lot. We unseated 2 presidents, lowered the voting age from 21 to 18, ended the draft, and convinced Congress to pass both the War Powers Act in 1973 and halt funding for the war in 1974. The war ended in 1975.
But for veterans, there was still a lot of change that needed to happen. In 1981, Bruce Springsteen held a concert for Vietnam veterans where he sang songs that reflected both the struggles of the war itself and America denying the poor treatment of soldiers.
Protest music really took off during the war and is still seen today in movements pushing for change that have lasted throughout modern day, such as the Black Lives Matter and mental health awareness movements.
It's because of these brave people who debated the war that we were able to find peace within the country. In the wise words of a former protester, it was the war that was lost and the peace that was won.